coronavirus as the Oxford...
But there's so much noise drowning out the news. Talking heads, broadcast messages, press releases. They're telling you their side, but you just want the facts. And that's why you come to me. I give you the statistics without spin. Out of 116 million working age Nigerians, 35.5 million are employed full-time. That's 30%. I give you the context. I give you the history. I fight fake news with facts.
Kayode. No, Kayode, I will let you talk. Kayode, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
That's why more and more Lagosians are tuning in. 500,000 Lagosians.
720,000.
970,000. Over 1 million Lagosians. They know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
Well done, Sandra, all to going beyond the headlines and focusing on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. First hard fact of the day: the presidential and National Assembly elections are in 2 days. 2 days, Lagos. 2 days. All that preparation, all that talk. In 2023, they will hear from us. In 2023, don't worry. 2023 is coming. Okay. 2023 has come. And please, don't be playing ball on the day of election. Don't be playing ball on the day of election. Don't be watching film on the day of election. Make sure you go out and actually vote. Whoever you have chosen as the person that will protect your interests, because elections have consequences. So whoever you think is the unassailable best choice or least worst choice, if you think all the choices are bad, there are choices that are worse than others. Please don't vote for the worst. Vote for whoever you think is the best one. I always tell you, the best one will do the least damage. The worst one will do the worst damage. Which of these candidates asking for your votes would it be in their best interest, in their own best interest, for their own personal interests away from political ambition? Which of these candidates would it be in their best interest for your own best interests to be protected? That's what you ask yourself. That way you can align. Because at the end of the day, politicians are politicians. So find the one that you can hook your car onto, whose interests, whose survival is dependent on how much money can be in your pocket at the end of the day. Does your business help that person's business to flourish? Which candidate ensures that? That's who you should be voting for. I don't know who that is. That's up to you to decide. Just make sure you're deciding. Get out there and vote. 8:30 a.m. That's when voting starts. But plan to be there before that 8:30 and make sure you're there until they count the votes and transmit it via beavers to the central server. 2 days left. I hope you have power bank that you use and charge your phone. I hope you have data. If you don't have data, make plans to buy data. Make sure you're online that day. Make sure you put your eye on INEC very, very well. Watch INEC. Watch the core members. Watch the party agents. Watch everybody. Be alert. And if you come out in your numbers, if you're there as a crowd, you will be able to repel anyone that wants to do anything, because there is power in numbers. My people have a saying about how if it's one piece of broom, if it's one broomstick, you're able to break it. But if it's a bunch, it is much more difficult to break. Be a bunch. So as you're going, find someone that is in your polling unit, carry them. Let that person find another person in their polling unit, carry them. You should go in your numbers. Vote. Second hard fact of the day, the defense headquarters said that troops arrested 3 terrorists at Damba community in Chikun local government area of Kaduna. The military high command says that one of those terrorists confessed to being the mastermind or one of the masterminds of that Abuja Kaduna train attack that happened on the 28th of March 2022. So that's pretty great news. If you witness a story or a news event that you want Lagos to know about, call us on 01-465-7175. Thank you for tuning into today's show. I've got a great show for you. Let's start with the big 3 and talk about the Naira note crisis and the AGF saying that there are ways around the Supreme Court order. Oh, yes. And then let's talk about the assassination of a Labour Party Senate candidate in Enugu. And then let's talk about a hunter finding thousands of PVCs in a bush in Nnewi. At 4 o'clock, we'll bring you Eyewitness. At 5 on the Big Hard Fact, let's talk about the latest election stories. On today's Step Down, let's talk some more about parental curses and social sanction on bad parents. The step down happens after the news at 6 o'clock. So from 6:15, that's when the step down happens. Now, of course, expect news, business, and sports at the top of the hour every hour. But let's get started with today's Big 3 Lagos. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
This is the Big 3.
The Big 3 on Hard Facts
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Is there any justification for ignoring a Supreme Court order? Are the authorities doing enough to prevent electoral violence? Can INEC remain silent over PVCs in the bush? Those are the Big 3, Lagos. Let's talk. Our first story is the Naira note ultimate search. Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, says that the federal government is not in breach of the Supreme Court order. That order that the federal government should continue recognizing the old notes from the Supreme Court until Supreme Court gives judgment. Malami say they are not in contempt of it. In spite of that order, the 500 Naira note and 1,000 Naira note are no longer legal tender. Journalists met Malami and they asked Malami, and he said that order has not been breached. In fact, let me read what he said. He said, quote, "The fact clearly that we are not a breach of any order made by the court, inclusive of any order associated with the Naira redesign. We are not in breach. I believe I'm not a banker, but you have not gone to establish which bank is it that you have gone to present 1,000 or 500 Naira notes that have been rejected. So we're not in breach," end quote. So Malami's argument is that banks are still accepting the old notes, and therefore that means that the federal government has not disobeyed the order. Now, first of all, some banks are accepting the old notes, but not all the banks. Also, the last official statement on this situation from the CBN was that you can only bring the old notes to CBN, right? So even if some banks, not all, are accepting the old notes, it's actually in spite of what the federal government has told them. The federal government, or rather the CBN, the central bank, has told them not to accept the old notes. At least that's what the statement from a few days ago said. So that's number one. Number two, even if some banks are accepting the old notes, what about the rest of the banking system? If the public has been told not to accept them, doesn't that mean that they're no longer legal tender? Doesn't that violate the Supreme Court order? Because from what we've been told, the only thing you can do with the old notes right now is return them for a credit into your bank account. And that's not the full range of use for legal tender, is it? So, is Malami being very flexible with his interpretation here? And Malami did not stop there. He said that sometimes you are allowed to be in breach of a court order. Yeah, he said that. He said, quote, but then assuming we are in breach, The fact remains that this matter is sub judice, as you rightly know. It is being contested before the Supreme Court, and when an order is made, you have multiple options within the context of the rule of law. One, you are entitled as a matter of right, if the facts and evidence support your position, to apply for setting it aside. The position of the law, legal jurisprudence is clear. Once you are attacking and you are seeking for setting aside of an existing order of the court, you cannot be said to be operating in breach when you presented your application for setting aside. End quote. That's a lot of legal jargon there, but I want to try and break it down. So the first thing that Malami said there is that if a court, even the Supreme Court, gives you an order that you don't like, that you are allowed to ignore the order as long as you have applied to the court to set the order aside. So I'm not a lawyer. I'm going to need to hear from lawyers who are listening to me. Ejo, you should come and educate me. The lawyers who are listening, I need your thoughts. 0700-993-993-993. That's for men. Women, call us on 01-465-7190. Malami did not stop there. He said, quote, if the court is not an apex court, you equally have a right of appeal and support the right of appeal with an application of stay of execution order. So the bottom line of what I'm trying to state, if the matter is sub judice and within the context of the rule of law, we are doing the needful as a government in terms of ensuring that the right of the government within the context of the Naira redesign is being protected. So we're not in breach. End quote. I have a headache. But the argument here is because the matter is sub judice, ignoring the court order is not a breach of the court order because the federal government has a right to redesign the Naira. Lawyers, help me. Does this argument stand up to the to scrutiny? If you're a lawyer, I want to hear from you. Women, call me on 01-465-7190. Men, call me on 0700-993-993-993. For the rest of us, is Malami's argument sound? Is there any justification for ignoring an order from the Supreme Court? Lawyers, you are the ones that will answer that one for me. Is it accurate to say that the federal government has not ignored the order since some banks are still accepting the old notes? WhatsApp is 080. Lawyers, if you can't call in, because I know our phone lines can be very busy. So lawyers, if you cannot call in, please send me a message via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080 959 75805. 080-959-75805. We're streaming on Facebook, so let me hear your thoughts on Facebook as well. Facebook Nigeria Info 99.3, Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. Hello, thanks for calling us.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Samuel.
Are you a lawyer, Samuel?
No, I never read that position.
Okay, oh yeah, go ahead. Share your thoughts with me.
Please, I just want to give information on what is going on for our area.
Okay, no, later you can call during Eyewitness to give me that information. That's between 4 and 5, 99.3, hello.
Yeah, President Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Your senior special advisor.
Okay, welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. For me, Malami, the president, the Supreme Court, everybody, every one of them, they are doing the right thing. But that confusion that this guy in Kaduna is causing is what I don't understand. I don't know why nobody, up to this date, even the Supreme Court one, never called that man to order.
Which man? What are you talking about?
The Kaduna state governor that said the people should keep on using that money. And this morning, somebody said in Kaduna there, the traders, they refused that money. Because the president, the governor told them that don't worry, when we come back to power, we will revise everything. It's wrong. Enough of this confusion. The lawyers said they are not helping matter. You can see they are divided. Some say, the president has the power. Anything that has to do with the currency of the country. Nobody wants to come out and say this is the right thing to do. Blame game. Thank you, President Sandra.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. 99.3, hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
My name is Prosper JJ.
Prosper, are you a lawyer?
I'm not, man.
Okay.
I just want to talk about this.
Welcome. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, man. I wish I'm a lawyer, man.
I wish you were too.
Yes, man. So, I don't know why this issue of court postponing. Me, in my own perspective, I don't even want the court to either adjourn. They should settle this case once and for all. The old Naira is gone. Let it be gone forever. That is just it. We should be practiced. We should be used to this internet banking. We should be used to this USSD code banking. At least let this issue of either in favor of the politician, in favor of us, let it be gone. I don't even want it again. Let this old Naira be gone and be gone forever.
Okay.
That is all I have to say.
All right. Thank you for calling to say it. CJ is in Ogun State. CJ, please tell me you're a lawyer.
No, I'm not. Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to quickly talk about your second story, about the PVC that was found in Nnewi.
Okay, go ahead.
He said it is unfair and appalling seeing people PVC in Nnewi, and that shows the high level of sabotage and selfishness. And I believe that it's not done by an outside debate and inside, even among my Igbo brothers, because I know what they are capable of doing. Then this align my thought with the view with the presidential flag bearer of Party L. If he's expecting mass vote from the east and west here, he should forget about, because even here they will support the person that is a cripple, is somebody that does not have even hands and legs, provided it's their own. So he should expect a vote from the north. Whoever the imams and the ems ask the northerners to vote is the person they will vote for, and that is the place he should be expecting his vote. Thank you very much.
Okay, I don't know where he went to with the end of that story. 99.3, hello.
Hi, Sandra.
How you doing? What's your name, ma'am?
Hi, my name is Florence.
Please tell me you're a lawyer, Florence.
I'm not, but I just Googled something. I just wanted to say.
Okay.
I think that the ex-parte order is just one document that just talks about a decision on a judge. But it's not a judgment. There is difference between an order and a judgment. So I think Malami is completely right. So he has challenged that order. He has asked the judge who set that order to set it aside. So now this is the beginning of a proceeding. So he has challenged that order. So there's not been a final judgment. So I don't think it's right. Until the Supreme Court gives a judgment, it means that adversary proceeding is over. It's done and dusted, it's settled. So this is just the beginning. So there's really nothing wrong with what Malami has said.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. We've got private number calling. All right, private number. Welcome.
Hello. Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon, private number. Are you a lawyer?
No, I'm not a lawyer.
All right, but good to have you on the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So I would like to comment on this PVC issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the thing is that I hope INEC will really look into this thing thoroughly, because a friend of mine said the landlord has a friend that has multiple numbers of PVCs with him. Now, the wife went to collect her own PVC. They told her the PVC is not ready, only for the landlord to see the wife's PVC with this particular man. And he's not an INEC officer.
Okay.
So I would really love for INEC to look into this issue properly. And this is happening in Lagos.
Okay. All right. INEC, look into it promptly. Now, of course, with a story like this, it's my friends, landlords, friends, sisters. It's too long, and complicated. However, the story from Anambra seems pretty straightforward, and we haven't heard from INEC yet. By the way, if you don't know where your polling unit is, call 4632. 4632. Call that number and they'll tell you your polling unit. 4632. That's the INEC Citizens Contact Center. 4632. If you don't know where your polling unit is, call that number and they will tell you where your polling unit is and you can go and vote. Let's take a few more thoughts. 99.3. Hello. Sorry about that. Give us a call back if you can. Good afternoon.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
I give kudos to that hunter that saw that PVC.
Okay.
So it's INEC property, so let them go and collect it. Nigerians are good. Concerning Malami, respect to him. Malami is being very diplomatic and highly technical and tactical. Make I tell you, and you have seen this document that they are not respecting. Make I tell you what it has resulted. It has resulted that even to buy meat in Ojota, you know, go see meat. They don't want to collect transfer. And there's no new money. And to make I tell you the truth, people are dying. People are dying. Some of them to allow us to use this old note. Maybe not because of some unscrupulous and some malpractice politicians. People are dying. That's what I want to drop to you. People are dying in Nigeria. No money, no nothing. Yeah, they don't want to.
Which people are dying? Which people are dying? Comrade Koboko, excuse me. You cannot come on air and be shouting people are dying. How many people have you seen that died? How many did you count? Let's not be sensational.
Okay, but we are suffering for here.
You can say people are suffering. That's fine, but you can't say people are dying. How many do you count?
Apologies. But what I want to tell you is they're supposed to respect our Supreme, the upper court. They're supposed to respect it to help the citizens. Because now we put them here, now we put them here. But someone not be small. Somebody here not be shere. I never chopped meat since Monday. If I travel, they will do it to me. If they travel for me, then they will do it to me. No need to come out the top.
All right, thank you very much for calling. We've got messages on WhatsApp. Let me take a few before we have to take this break. Akim in Akbaja says, if the Supreme Court wants the people to obey their judgment, they should stop cash and carry judgment. At the end of President Buhari's tenure, people will talk about his achievements and not the Supreme Court's. Government policy is government policy. We've got Ezekiel from Ogba who says, Nigerian lawyers, when something happened, they won't talk immediately since they used to go and research before talking to us. Well, you can't exactly talk like that because the law is such an interesting thing. We've got Jude Anyanwu who says, I find Malami's defense not only preposterous and ludicrous but flexible with his interpretation of the order. How can he say some banks are accepting the old notes when I did not witness First Bank, Stock Exchange, Customs, Lagos do such while I was there today for transaction? Customers who had such issues with their old notes were directed to the CBN. He should name the banks that are accepting the old notes for clarity. Jude, thank you for your message. We'll take a break. When we come back from this break, we'll take your thoughts. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Still when two killed in Enugu. He actually was running to vent my materials in Enugu. And then he's found in Nnewi by Hunter. Those stories coming up right now.
Are you a young person, a woman, or a person with disability? Do you know that you collectively make up about 80% of Nigeria's population? Ahead of the 2023 general elections, women, youth, and persons with disabilities have adopted a unified policy agenda called the Governance Agenda for an Inclusive Nigeria, GAIN. GAIN includes the priorities of Nigerian women, youth, and persons with disabilities in education, wealth creation, healthcare, security, and participation in governance processes. We call on candidates in the 2023 general elections to make a commitment to implement the GAIN if elected. Nigerian women, youth, and persons with disabilities will vote only for candidates who adopt GAIN. This message is brought to you by Youth Hub Africa, Inclusive Friends Association IFA, and Women in Politics Forum WIPF.
In an effort to reduce overcrowding and ensure stress-free voting experience on election day, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has moved voters from overcrowded polling units to less congested ones within the same location. All eligible voters can visit cvr.inecnigeria.org/VVS or voters.inecnigeria.org to confirm the polling unit where their names appear on the voters register to vote on election day. Also note that the list of eligible voters in each of the 176,846 polling units will be physically displayed at each polling unit nationwide before the day of election. INEC is therefore encouraging all eligible voters to verify their polling unit using the various options before they go and vote on election day. This message is brought to you by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and the Center for Democracy and Development (CDD), with support from the Osiwa Africa Foundation.
There is a huge difference between the relative experience of salary earners and those of business owners and entrepreneurs. Someone who has never had cause to set up a business of his, who has never had cause to source for funds, turn it around, pay salaries, pay back the loan, and still make profit cannot be expected to be hands-on when saddled with an economy the size of Lagos. Experience that hasn't curbed Lagos's traffic in 24 years of their reign. Experience that hasn't addressed Lagos's perennial flood. Experience that currently leaves us with over 2 million out-of-school children. The duo of Jandor and Funke have been investing in Lagos's economy for about 2 decades, running their personal businesses, employing people with track records of success. Lagos needs a breath of fresh air. Vote Dr. Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran Jandor as Governor of Lagos State. PDP! Power to the people!
Sincerely, I don't want to wait till I graduate from this school before I think of what to do with my life.
Exactly. I am going to seriously work on my music skills. Let me use my talent well, I beg.
I would like to be a radio presenter, but I don't know how to go about it.
But why is Timmy so quiet today?
Sorry, ladies. I'm taking this interesting course on how to become a professional scriptwriter. You too can also learn how to become a radio presenter on Wazobia Academy.
Wazobia Academy?
Yes! Wazobia Academy provides accessible and affordable online training in filmmaking, music business, fashion, radio hosting, and lots more. You also stand a chance to be selected for internship in leading production companies, radio stations, music, and fashion studios for hands-on experience. It's easy. Simply log on to www.wazobiaacademy.com or call 0908-826-5038 for more details.
Wazobia Academy. Learn and lead.
It must end! It must end!
What must end?
Suffering must end! Hunger must end! Corruption must end! Wickedness must end! Scarcity must end! All nonsense must end!
Vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu!
Book a ride on a Naira to move around Lagos. From Lekki to Oshodi, from anywhere to everywhere. Try a Naira and you won't go back to your old ways of moving around Lagos. Hurry and download a Naira app today and get your first ride for free using the promo code FIRSTRIDE. A Naira, ANAYER. The power to move.
Hey, make una come on. My husband don't do me strong thing, no. Yeah, Amaka. What's happen?
Now my husband buy me life for Valentine, no.
Yeah, Amaka. Which soup you give am?
No be soup, oh. Now from Adron Home Strong Love promo. As he buy land, they gon' give am 30% discount. Go ahead, microwave, give am join. No be only microwave deal. Some they collect mattress, gas burner, love hamper, cake, even water dispenser. Now only people will enjoy 40% discount. No collect gift.
Yeah, Amaka. Microwave. Why you no collect mattress?
Yes, so you say fit show strong love to your loved one this season with Adron Home Strong Love promo. Enjoy 40% discount on 24-month payment plan or 30% discount on 36-month payment plan with Poco gift items. For more tori, call these numbers
0805-921-0054 or 0803-466-7286.
This promo day from now till 6th of March 2023. Adron Home Strong Love promo. Terms and conditions dey.
Adron Homes, making the incredible affordable.
Did you know that to win an election requires more than being the majority votes cast? Now, let me tell you. According to the Constitution of Nigeria, your candidate must win 25% of votes in 2/3 of all states plus FCT to become a president. And same for all local government areas in a state to become a governor. Obasanjo, Iyadua, Jonathan, and Buhari met this requirement. Therefore, you cannot win with only northern or southern or eastern or western votes, or even only Christian or Muslim or idol worshippers' votes alone. So, you need enough support from across the country. Now that you know, help tell everyone around you so that it will not be an issue tomorrow. Think Nigeria first. Think Nigeria always.
This message is from the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO.
Hope must be renewed and all the nonsense must end. If you have your PVC, you have all you need to guarantee the suffering will end. But don't fight for a candidate that will never stand and fight for Nigerians. Vote for the candidates with bold ideas and the courage to fight for you. Vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Are you a young person, a woman, or a person with disability? Do you know that you collectively make up about 80% of Nigeria's population? Ahead of the 2023 general elections, women, youth, and persons with disabilities have adopted a unified policy agenda called the Governance Agenda for an Inclusive Nigeria, GAIN. GAIN includes the priorities of Nigerian women, youth, and persons with disabilities in education, wealth creation, healthcare, security, and participation in governance processes. We call on candidates in the 2023 general elections to make a commitment to implement the GAIN if elected. Nigerian women, youth, and persons with disabilities will vote only for candidates who adopt gay. This message is brought to you by Youth Hub Africa, Inclusive Friends Association IFA, and Women in Politics Forum WIPF.
Me, I'm not afraid of that man.
Me too.
What can he really do?
I hope you people are discussing about paying me my rent.
Oga landlord, calm down. We are discussing about the upcoming elections.
Nonsense. Don't tell me to calm down. Your mates are at the Akamata Community Square selling their votes for 5,000 naira. But you are here doing what I don't know.
Oga landlord, do you know that 5,000 naira spread over the next 4 years is just 4 naira per day? Is this what we should sell our votes for? God forbid.
Oga landlord, wise up. We must vote in the right people this time, instead of selling our votes to people who have nothing good to offer our community.
That one is your business. You ladies better go and collect yours, if that will help you gather my rent at the end of the month. Do not listen to people like this landlord. Election is not a business venture. It is your civic duty to your country to help elect the right leaders who will create a better life for you and a great future for your children. Do not sell your future. Do not sell your vote. This message is brought to you by the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from the MacArthur Foundation.
Hello, my Etios people. It's your neighbor again, Ibrahim. Who be the man for the job? To take us out to the top. If you want to see a change, we go call on Baba Jide or Latine. He don't do it before, I tell you no be today. Good education, yes, and road rehabilitation. The man with dedication. IPO, Obani Koro, Oba, Onikemalogy Soro, APC,
Vote Ibrahim Babajide Obani Koro for Ethiopia Federal House of Representatives under APC.
IBO, your neighbor, my neighbor, our neighbor.
In an effort to reduce overcrowding and ensure stress-free voting experience on election day, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has moved voters from overcrowded polling units to less congested ones within the same location. All eligible voters can visit cvr.inecnigeria.org/VBS or voters.inecnigeria.org to confirm the polling unit where their names appear on the voters register to vote on election day. Also note that the list of eligible voters in each of the 176,846 polling units will be physically displayed at each polling unit nationwide before the day of election. INEC is therefore encouraging all eligible voters to verify their polling unit using the various options before they go and vote on election day. This message is brought to you by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and the Center for Democracy and Development (CDD), with support from the Osiwa Africa Foundation.
It must end! It must end!
What must end?
Suffering must end! Hunger must end! Corruption must end! Wickedness must end! Scarcity must end! All nonsense must end!
Vote for Ahmed Tinubu.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is the Big Three on Hard Facts. And for our second story, I want to take you to Enugu, where a senatorial candidate who has been tragically murdered. Oyubochukwu, a Labour Party Senate candidate in Enugu, assassinated. According to the police, gunmen shot Chukwu and others in a car and set them ablaze. The Enugu Police Command also says that there was an attack on a PDP campaign bus. The gunmen killed the driver. The police also say that there was a foiled attack on the APC Guba candidate in Enugu. Foiled because the police got there in time. The police believe that the same gang are behind all three attacks. For those of you who don't know, Enugu East covers 5 local government areas in Enugu. So you have Enugu North, Enugu South, East Uzo, Nkanu East, and Nkanu West. one of the most famous senatorial candidates currently a senator running to hold on to his seat is former governor of the state, Chimaroke Namani. You also have Adaubu also running on the platform of the APC to be the senator representing Enugu East. Now, the police says they think it's the same gang, but I don't know, of course, one way or the other, whether it's the same gang or whether it's many gangs. Last, what we do know is that this is political violence. Some people are targeting politicians and their supporters on the eve of elections. And Enugu isn't a special case. This is happening in different states. So I think the question that we should be asking is, are the police and other authorities doing everything they can to checkmate political violence? Yesterday, a few hours before Chukwu was assassinated, the party leaders were signing yet another peace accord in Abuja. I covered that signing live for you here on Hard Facts. I say another peace accord because they already signed one before. You know, work. In fact, during that signing yesterday, Abdusalam Abubakar talked about the violations. He said, quote, 44% of the violations were carried out by the spokespersons of the political parties, 26% by party members, 19% by the presidential candidates themselves, 11% by the hardcore supporters, and 4% by the chairman of the parties, end quote. Now, I have a problem with this list, right? Why didn't General Abubakar tell us which parties are responsible for which percentage of violations? Wouldn't that be more helpful? Isn't there supposed to be some sort of consequence for violating this accord, this peace accord? Wouldn't it be more meaningful for him to say Party XYZ is responsible for 40% of violations? Because then the public knows who to hold responsible, name and shame. Otherwise, does this accord have any weight? Is it worth the paper that it's being written on, that it is written on? Are the security agencies doing enough to tackle political violence? Lagos, talk to me. And what's your reaction to the assassination of Chukwu? Do you think that the peace accord organizers should name and shame parties for violation? Women, call me on 01465 7190. We've got Femi or Motayo joining us from the US. Femi, how you doing?
Madam Sandra, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, I called in respect to this topic yesterday. Like I said, this peace accord does not hold any weight. And I'm sorry for mentioning any name yesterday during this program. The thing is that our security operatives, they need to do more. They know the people responsible for all this political violence. See, I'm from Ondo State. If there's any trouble in Ondo State in my community, I know the people who is in charge. So how much more the security operative? That's why I believe that they need to be proactive on this issue in tackling political violence. That's what I have to say, madam.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, Femi. 99.3. Hello. Thanks for calling us. Hello. Thank you for calling. What's your name, sir?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
You have Chris on the line from Okukumaiko.
Welcome, Chris from Okukumaiko.
Yeah. Indeed, Sandra is a fire. I mean, it's a very big blow and a very big tragedy to we, the people of Kanoland, because they called me yesterday and they informed me of that incident when it happened. Honestly, I think, just like you said, that is accord. I've continued to say it's a mere formality. After they sign it, since there's no legal backing on it, I don't think, there is any way they can use it to effect a punishment for whoever that contravened it. So I think going forward, what they need to do, National Assembly precisely, the National Assembly should make it a point of duty to get it into the Constitution so that whenever anybody breach that act, the person will be held responsible instead of what we have today. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much for calling, Chris. 99.3. Sorry about that. Give us a call back if you can. Joseph Abiodun says those who killed that LP senatorial candidate must be arrested and they must confess their sponsor. What sort of hell is this? Is it by force to serve the people? Nigeria is owing huge debt and these people are still killing themselves to get into political office. Is it the debt that is enticing them? Joseph Abiodun, that's a great question. Is it the debt that is enticing them? Hazan Eniola says, for the PVCs found in the bush, I don't know why INEC is still silent on the issue. We need explanation. Hazan Eniola also says that he thinks that Malami is confused. All right. Now, before I take a few more calls, let me quickly tell you about this PVCs in the bush business in Nnewi. You already know that a hunter found hundreds of PVCs in a bush. It happened in Akamili in Nnewi, Anambra State. The farmer found these PVCs in a bag in the forest and he now brought them to Authority FM in Nnewi. By the way, I love that this farmer brought it to a radio station. I really, really like that. It really showed me how Nigerians see the work that we do on the radio. Like, it really showed me that Nigerians trust the radio. I want to thank all of you who trust us to tell you the truth, to help you communicate with the authorities. Personally, I don't take that responsibility lightly. But back to the story, so the hunter found the PVCs and took it to a radio station, Authority FM, in Nnewi. We spoke with the head of news there, and here's what he said.
INEC decided to do migration of voters.
Oh no, apologies about that. That's the wrong sound. I'm gonna find the actual sound of the conversation we had with the head of news there and what the head of news said to us when we got in touch. This was after they had allowed for the PVCs to leave their, what's the word I'm looking for now, after they allowed the PVCs to leave their custody.
Right now, he's no longer in our custody. Early this morning, when he was taken to the Obi Umudim, that's the traditional ruler of that Umudim community, the PVC, as at 11:30 a.m. today, was still in his palace. So they have called, the DSS guys came there around 10 a.m. to look at it. Some people from the local government area of Nnewi North came there to also look at it. Then they put a call across to the INEC spokesperson, or to the INEC people in Anambra State. They said they are sending some of their guys from Oka to come and inspect it.
Okay. So they said that they were coming to, they were asking their people to come and inspect it. INEC said, oh, we're sending our people to come and inspect the cards. INEC never showed up. There's been no statement from INEC at all. All the media houses have been disturbing INEC. Tell us what did happen. What is it? Explain how these PVCs ended up in the bush. No statement yet from INEC. Police say that they've not received an official report from anyone, but they are investigating. It's quite the story. Nature abhors a vacuum. And so without a word from INEC or from the police, people will do what people need to do. Nnewi people are already taking action. They moved the PVCs to the traditional ruler's palace, like you heard from the head of station at Authority FM. And they moved the PVCs to traditional ruler's palace. Now they're distributing the PVCs to the owners. Now I'm shouting here that INEC isn't saying anything now. Because tomorrow now, if these people try to vote with these PVCs, will INEC come and say, no, we don't recognize these PVCs? Because this story has been on since Tuesday. INEC hasn't said anything. Doesn't every voter who has now found their PVCs in this hall, after being frustrated for months, deserve an explanation? Many of these people were going to INEC offices day after day during PVC collection. They were being told stories, not found, or one other thing or the other. Now they've seen their PVCs inside bush. Don't they deserve an explanation? Don't Nigerians deserve an explanation? For its own reputation, shouldn't INEC come forward and say, okay, we threw away those cards, or wow, those cards were missing. Hey, thank you for finding them. Oh, is silence the answer here? What do you make of INEC's silence on this issue? What do you think about the fact that the people of that community are distributing these PVCs themselves? Should they be doing that, or should they maybe have handled things differently? PVCs inside bush, how you see them? 0700-993-993-993 01465-7190. Hello, thank you for calling us.
Hello, Sandra.
How you doing? What's your name, ma'am?
Chinenwa calling.
Welcome, Chinenwa.
Sandra, see, in fact, INEC, they should remove their name from, because they are not independent. They are not INEC. They are not INEC, they are dependent. Look at what, okay, now, that PVC, there's no way this PVC will leave their custody to that bush without INEC official knowing about it. No individual will come there and take all those PVCs loaded inside a bag. They know about it. That's why they are not responding. And look at Lagos Zone. When they want to, INEC want to use MC Olomo for logistics. So, in fact, INEC and the judiciary, they are the problem of the masses. Let me just make it clear.
All right. Thank you very much for calling today. Sorry about that. I thought you were done there. Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for calling us.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome, sir.
I'm so sorry for the loss of that gentleman in Enugu State. It's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think INEC is very, very biased here with us in this situation, because I think INEC should have explained the reason why the PVC have been disappeared to the forest. So I think INEC is not clear with us here, and I wish if there's any way that in this case INEC from other states, they can transfer them down to another state. There should be a mix-up so that such a thing like this cannot occur. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for calling. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra. Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Joy.
Welcome, Joy.
You know, say, the more we look at this country, the more we weep for this country. I tell you the truth, Sandra.
Okay.
You see that peace accord where they sign. Who give her that name, say na peace? Where they know, say those people said they don't want peace. They can't give that kind of thing title, peace. They don't want peace because they will not obey that thing that will bring peace to we, the common people in this Nigeria. Then again, those this thing, political violence for those places. God will intervene. Let them continue. No stop. God will intervene. You know those people, one day God will bring them to the open for people to see. Again, about our money. Some bank are collecting. Some bank are not collecting. What kind of talk is that? These people, they are inside one boat. They are just deceiving themselves, not we. Thank you.
Joy, thanks for calling. Adegboyega Adedeji on WhatsApp says the peace accord convener should be held responsible for the killings. After all, the party have signed the peace accord paperwork. Okay. I think the PVCs have been bought from INEC. Okay, that's an interesting speculation, but that's the thing. If INEC refuses to speak on the matter, they're leaving room for people to speculate away. I've got a message here. Okay. Sandra, except and until elective positions are demonetized, these killings will never abate. I'm deeply pained. All right. Sandra, it's unfortunate that our Enugu have started experiencing political violence and bloodbath before and during elections. This was exactly what it was before the Chimaroke era. It's so sad that Enugu state is no longer peaceful during elections. Fendi Mendieta with that message. Fendi is in Austin, Texas. We've got so many other messages, but we have a break coming up, and unfortunately I won't be able to take those calls. But we'll bring you Eyewitness from 4 o'clock. Eyewitness at 4 o'clock. If I'm the one who's here doing Eyewitness with you, we'll take a look at these stories some more. Don't go away, Lagos.
More talk, more right after this.
Hey, football is back!
For real?
Oh, yeah!
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired are fired.
It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.